Hey guys, today I will be tying a cicada dry fly, and I'll be starting with some black UTC 210, and I'll be doing a couple wraps right behind the hook eye, and then snipping off right there. And next I will be using some orange egg yarn from Togens Fly Shop, and I'm going to tie that in just by those first couple fibers there. Now if you don't twist this stuff up, it actually lays a pretty good even base. But first I'm going to move my thread back here, and it's going to get caught up in that yarn, so I'm going to move that out of the way. But then once I get my thread back there, I will take the yarn and do some even wraps around the body. Now I'm going to tie that off with a couple of tight wraps at the bend of the hook there. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to come in and snip the excess. Next, I will be using black tires foam and a little bit of super glue. And I'm going to apply that super glue right where I want to tie in that foam at, just so it doesn't spin or move around. And then line up the foam and do a couple of tight wraps around the back there. Really pinch those. You could have a couple choices about how to get your thread back up to the front. I just do some even body wraps and kind of make some segmentation on the body, but you could just try to move your thread and pinch it to the top and then cover it up with the foam. Either way would work, but I preferred that way. And then I'm going to do some more super glue and then place that foam down and tie in about a 1/4 inch behind the hook eye. And just keep that glue handy because we'll keep using it throughout this tie. Now I'm going to use some orange crystal flash, also from Togens, and I'm going to pinch wrap this in. And then once I have it under tension, I'm going to pull a little bit out just so there isn't a whole lot of excess left in there. And then do a couple of tight wraps around that. And then pull that flash down to about the length of the hook, and that's where I cut mine off. Now I'm using a bit of orange deer hair from Nature's Spirit. And I saw this trick where you can kind of put a loop around the bundle before it sits on the fly, and it just helps it seat it on top of the fly without spinning it too much. After a couple of tight wraps around that deer hair, I'm going to come in here with some razor scissors and trim off the excess, just so when I pull back that foam it isn't all bulging out. Now I'm going to use some red mono eyes, also from Togens, and I'm going to utilize my super glue once again, just make this tying a little bit easier, and put a couple drops down there, and then tie in those eyes. And to do that, I do a little figure 8 wrap. You could do really whatever you want, but I found that works out the best. Before I fold back the foam, I'm going to put even more super glue on, just because, you know, when you got these big fish like bass taking these flies, it can kind of destroy them a little bit, so anything to help that durability. Then I pull back the foam, do a couple of tight wraps behind the eye right there to really seat that all down. This is a good opportunity to trim that foam on the top. I'm using curved scissors here, and I kind of just make a blunt arrowhead shape out of it. You can use any scissors you want, but these scissors help me with the angle. And next, I'm using Togens Ultra Stretch in the color orange. And I'm going to mark these up with a permanent marker before putting them on, just kind of give it that more buggy feel. And then slide those up right behind the eye, one on either side. Once I'm happy with how they sit, I'm going to fold them all up and give them a snip so that they're all even. And now I'm going to come in with my nail knot tool, do a couple finishing knots on this fly. And one last time with the super glue, I'm going to dot some on top there, on top of that thread and on that foam, and really help it hold everything together. And then I'm going to texture the bottom with a marker as well, kind of break up that bright orange. And there you have it, the Cicada dry fly. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.